Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome along to the Sports Corner Live. It's fucking Euros time, baby. Let's go. Of course, it's been a tournament we've all been waiting for a year since it should have originally taken place, the Euros. It has been a long, long wait for this tournament to start. Of course, COVID and everything like that in the world, stopping us from being able to have this tournament take place in 2020. But the wait is over. It's finally time to begin, and, well, we have got an incredible month of action to come. Starting tonight with what is going to be a brilliant opening fixture between Turkey and Italy. Kick-off for the match tonight is in about 10 or about 15 minutes, I would say. And it's going to be an incredible week, an incredible month even, not a week. It's a full month of what's going to be awesome action. And we are delighted to say that throughout the entirety of the month, we are going to be covering as many games as we possibly can on what is going to be, no doubt, one of the most anticipated tournaments I think there has ever been in terms of international-wise. We've waited so bloody long for it, but it's finally here. How are we all doing? I'm Josh. If you are new to the channel, welcome along to the stream. For any of you that may be coming here for the first time, I'm delighted to say it won't just be me. Over the next month, will be a whole host of us covering games over the next month. There'll be myself, there'll be Kieran L, we'll have Kieran D, we'll have Rowan, we might have Will, potentially even Adam joining us, hopefully, fingers crossed, at some point over the next month. So get yourselves, relaxed and comfy, because we've got so many games to come. Of course, it is only day one, which means we get one fixture today, but we've got a whole host of fixtures coming up over the next few weeks and over the next month pretty much, which we are going to be covering. So don't worry, there's a feast of football to come for those of you that maybe have been missing all the action over the last few weeks. But what a place to start. It's going to be an absolutely unbelievable tournament. And what an opening game we've got. Turkey taking on Italy. We'll have a look at the lineups, of course, in a few moments' time. We'll also be going through a few different things as well on stream. But if you are new, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel. If you are new, we are pushing towards, I believe we're towards 2,500 subscribers now, or 2,300, I think. It's 2,300, not 500. Getting a little bit too overhyped there, but yes, we are getting closer towards that target. So very excited with that. But first of all, just want to say, how are we all doing in the chat? Hope you're all good as always. Kyle's in the building. He says, hey all, how are you? Good. I'm good. Hopefully everybody else is good in the stream. Can't wait for the Euros and some great matches. Let's go. And honestly, I am absolutely buzzing for not just this game tonight, but for all the games we've got coming up over the next few weeks, which we will go through probably at half time, and we'll talk you through which games everybody's going to be covering over the next few days. And then Chris is in the building. How are you doing? Hope you're all good as always, mate. This evening, Josh, I've escaped from the basement. How are you doing, Chris? Hope you're good as always. He says, not that interested in the opening ceremony. There to watch the game. Although I will say the opening ceremony, the last bit of it with Andrea Bocelli, nuts. Absolutely unbelievable. Really, really nice looking. But before we go through predictions and things like that on the stream, I think first of all, let's take a look at the lineups for today's teams. We'll go through them again in a few moments' time when this game does kick off. But starting off with the Turkey lineup today, 4-5-1 for this really good informed Turkish team, you have to admit. Erguçan Sakir, the goalkeeper from Trabzonspor, is in goal today. Back four of Umut Manas, Carlos Yuncu, the Leicester City centre-back. He's alongside Merih Demal, the Turkish centre-back from Juventus. And in the right-back position, Zeki Çelik, incredible right-back this season for Losk Lille. We'll be talking about him quite a bit today, I think, throughout this match. It's a midfield five, could be a 4-1-4-1 with Okay Kuzlu, the Celta Vigo midfielder, was on loan at West Brom, of course, in the Premier League this season. He will probably be playing as the deep line midfielder with Yusuf Yazici and Ozan Tufan, two very recognisable players over the past few years in the Turkish lineup as the two holding midfielders. On the far hand side, Kenan Karaman, former Dusseldorf man. He's on the right hand side. Hakan Çalhanoğlu, arguably one of the most recognisable players in the Turkish team. He plays on the left hand side with, well, probably for me actually the more recognisable of all the players on the pitch, Burak Yilmaz. What a season he had, of course, at Lille. Incredible season, especially for a debut in France. He, of course, is up top today. On the bench, a whole host of Interesting names on there. You've got, I think it's Kaveci, Trabzonspor, former Trabzonspor player. Dervisoglu, former Feyenoord player on there. You've got Kaan Ayhan, the centre-back, Dusseldorf man he was. Ozan Kabak as well. And Eres Unal, who's been around the blocks in La Liga over the last few years. He is on the bench as well today. As for the away side, this is how Italy are lining up in their home stadium, although they're playing away, of course, today. Gianluigi Donnarumma is in goal, back four of both Leonardos. You've got Spinazzola in the left-back position, and Alessandro Florenzi, the Paris Saint-Germain player, on loan, of course, from Roma. He's in the right-back position. Two centre-backs, the recognisable players in Leonardo Bonucci and Giorgio Chiellini, who've been there for, well, donkey's years now in that defence, and still today are some of the best centre-backs in world football. Midfield three, a very unrecognisable midfield three from the former Italian team's most notable player missing today is, of course, Marco Verratti. He is out injured and will not be back for a little while. So in the midfield today, Nicolo Barella, incredible season he had at Inter Milan. He's alongside Jorginho and Manuel Locatelli of Sassuolo. And then the front three, Lorenzo Insigne, what a season he had for Napoli. Brilliant season. Domenico Berardi as well, another quality player. He was, of course, at Sassuolo this season. Double figures for goals and assists. And then up top is Ciro Immobile, who has won the Golden Boot a few times before in Serie A. Other recognisable players on the bench today, Federico Chiesa, a brilliant season, probably one of the few shining stars from that Juventus side. You've got Raspadori, young Italian striker. He could come on at some point. Only just recently got called up to the Italian side, and a few other recognisable players on the pitch as well. So we've got the two teams sorted out. Of course, we'll have the game coming up in a few moments' time. Both teams getting ready with the national anthems as well going on in the background. But from what you guys have been saying in the building, Kyle, how you doing, mate? Oh, you're good. He says it's going to be strange watching Italy without Buffon, but Donnarumma is a good young goalkeeper and can only get better, which of course we will talk about him as the game continues on. You guys have been putting your predictions in the chat as well. Keep them coming. We'll talk through those as the games do continue on. And then Benaldo's in the building. He's put, it's coming home. How are you doing, Benaldo? You're good, mate. He's put Turkey 2-1, I believe. Come on, you Turkey. We'll do our predictions and that in a little moment's time. But before we do get into this game, let's actually have a look at the head-to-head record of these two sides faced off against each other plenty of times before. In fact, 11 times these two sides have faced off against each other. Italy have never, ever lost to Turkey. So that gives you a rough idea of what is on the line today for this very first Euro 2020 fixture. They've only ever played in the Euros once against each other. It was a 2-1 win to Italy. Back in 2000, Antonio Conte was playing back then. He scored the opening goal with Filippo Inzaghi also scoring in that match. But as you can see the records, Italy 8 wins, 3 draws, no defeats to Turkey ever in their history against each other. Turkey today could be, for the first time, able to beat Italy in this match today. So a lot on the line in terms of the fixture itself. How about the player to watch in today's fixture? Now, we are going to be doing this throughout the entirety of the tournament, picking out players to watch for those of you that maybe don't know some of the players across European football. And today's picked player for the ones to watch is keep your eye out on Manuel Locatelli, the young Italian midfielder, 23 years of age, incredible talent. He's only appeared 10 times for Italy at the age of 23, scoring 1 goal, but he has been linked to the likes of Manchester City and Juventus over the last few months. Very, very talented, creative midfielder. And he's in the team tonight, of course. Going to be interested to see how he gets on in the midfield alongside the likes of Barella and Jorginho. And then, of course, let's have a look as well at the previous records of teams facing off in the first matches of the Euros. We've had plenty of very interesting games over the last few years in the Euros. 2016, of course, you will remember 5 years ago, Dimitri Payet scoring a late winner in a 2-1 win against Romania. It was a fantastic goal to win the first match of the tournament. 2012, it was Poland 1-1 against Greece. That was the opening game. Robert Lewandowski scoring in that match. Quite interested to see, of course, today, 9 years on, he is still leading the line for the Poland team. Euro 2008, it was Czech Republic who started off the tournament with a 1-0 win against Switzerland. And then Euro 2004, the opening match was, funnily enough, the final As well, it was a 2-1 win, not for Portugal, sorry, it was for Greece, which won 2-1. I made a mistake there, which I do apologise about. It was a 2-1 win for Greece in that first match of the tournament. Of course, they did go on to win the first match and the final match of the tournament, also against Portugal. So, without further ado, the first game of what is going to be a brilliant tournament is about to get underway. The ball is being driven towards the referee today. Very interesting, of course, how that's been panned out. But they've got a drone car to go and drive the ball to the referee. It drives off the pitch. And without further ado, we are about to get underway with the first match of Euro 2020. As I said before, do put your predictions in the chat. Want to be very interesting. I think I'm going to go for my prediction today. And I'm going to go for, I think, 3-1 to Italy to start off as we kick off with this match between Turkey and Italy. And we are underway with what is the first match of this tournament. And no doubt it should be an absolute belter. Apologies if the mic was a little bit quiet. I usually have it down just because I'm quite loud. You know what I'm like. But let me just turn it down very slightly. But yeah, this should be a brilliant, brilliant game. And I've just realised I haven't got Photoshop up for my scoreboard. So I might have to do that at some point and get the scoreboard sorted out. So I'm going to try and do that now. Apologies if the stream lags out here. Kind of should have sorted this out before the stream started. But yeah, look, we've got a brilliant, brilliant game on our hands here. Two teams that have been in incredible form. Italy, 27 games unbeaten. Overall, incredible, incredible record. As for Turkey, you might have noticed, of course, they played against France in the qualifiers for the Euros and for the World Cup, I believe, beating France in the early stages of that kind of qualification section. So fair play to them in that respect. But we are underway with the match, and I've just realised I've made a big mistake. I can't seem to find where I've put my scoreboards on that. So while I try and find that, I do apologise. I'm going to try and find where I've put all of the stuff. But yeah, do put your predictions in the chat. Found them. We're sorted. We're all good. Hopefully it doesn't lag too much. And once that's up, we'll get ourselves underway. And we'll have the match on. I fucking clicked the wrong button. God's sake, apologies. But isn't it mad? Stadium, of course, only, I think, around 16,000 in the stadium today, which is about a quarter of what the Stadio Olimpico can hold. As we're going to have a long ball up into the path of Domenico Berardi. Ball's played into the middle towards the path of Ciro Immobile, and he tried to put it towards the right-hand side of the near post, but a really good run there from Italy there to start off the match. But it was Domenico Berardi, played the ball into Immobile, and we know very, very good player on his day, Immobile. Lots of goals in the past for Lazio. In fact, I think he got the Golden Boot 2 seasons ago when he was in Serie A. Beat Cristiano Ronaldo and the likes of Quagliarella to the Golden Boot. So we know he's going to have a lot of danger in this match. But looking at your predictions in the chat, seeing what you guys have been saying, Kyle's gone 4-3 to Italy, sorry. So quite a big prediction there from Kyle for today's game. Chris has gone for 3-0 to Italy, which is an interesting shout. Daz going 4-2 Italy, which I think is a big shout. A lot of people, of course, expecting goals tonight, which is pretty good. That's what we want. Of course, we saw earlier Benaldo with a 2-1 prediction for Turkey, and then Rees as well going 2-1 Turkey. I'm going to stick with the 3-1 prediction to Italy, of course, and we'll see how everything pans out as the game goes on today. But first 3 minutes here, and East Turkey, who were just having to do a little bit of defending. Not the calmest of starts in the world from the technical home team. Of course, Italy, realistically the home side in today's game, although they are the away team. They are playing at the Stadio Olimpico. And it's an interesting game, this one, because I think on paper this isn't an easy fixture to what people would expect. I think Italy are getting back on the rise. I think we know a few years ago they weren't at the World Cup. Let's not forget in 2018, didn't make it after losing to Sweden in the World Cup qualifier. I do think that Turkey are a very good side on the day. They have got class players around the pitch. They've got an informed striker in Burak Yilmaz who has put so many goals into the back of the net over the last year for Los Khalil. They've got a really good informed back line. Saki was brilliant this season for Trabzonspor. You've got Zeki Çelik, who is League 1 winner, League 1 winner, of course, with Lille. Kaglar Sunçu, very good season at Leicester City. Demiral, not had much football, so he'll be hoping today that he can go out there and get himself a little bit of confidence in this Turkish team. So they've got a good team on paper. They've also got creative players. Yusuf Yazici, very creative player. Ozan Tufan, who has experience of playing in some of the biggest competitions for Turkey. Played at the World Cup, played at the Euros as well. So he has got lots of experience in this side. As Italy, just take a hold of this game. It's going to be Spinazzola on the ball. Only played 37 times in Serie A over the last 2 years. Had his fair share of injury issues while being out, of course, in Italy. He'll be hoping that those injury issues don't come back over the next few months, especially with the fact that he probably isn't going to get a great deal of time in the future in what is a very, very good Italian squad, full of very intriguing players. As Roberto Mancini on the touchline, one of the very few notable, I would say, international managers who have got plenty of experience, not just at an international level, but at club level. Former Manchester City, Inter Milan manager, just to name a few of the brilliant clubs he's been at. And I think for me, having someone like a Mancini in charge does bring a little bit of a fear factor. You know, he's been around the block, he's been there, done that, won multiple titles, and has got very good experience at the highest level of football. And I do think for a team like Italy, it will bring a bit of fear factor as Chiellini is going to drive forward here for the first time in the game. Plays the ball towards the path of Domenico Berardi, but he just can't quite get a touch on the ball. There'll be a chance here for Yusuf Yazici to drive Turkey forward, but this Italian defence, very, very astute. Let's not beat around the bush. One of the most probably organised defences we will see at international level. Here is Locatelli. Tries to play the ball into the path of Berardi, who keeps on pushing forward. Eventually pushes Kaglar Sunçu over. Referee isn't going to give a free kick, but a very lively start from the Sassuolo man, who has had his fair share of opportunities at some big clubs. Was at Juventus a few years ago. Never really got a chance to play for them much. But ever since he moved to Sassuolo a few years ago, has been one of the big shining lights of a very, very good Sassuolo side. Massively improved over the last few years in Serie A. Here's cameraman though. Tries to flare the ball forward to Burak Yilmaz. Slight deflection on the ball from Spinazzola. But the veteran Turk just isn't able to get a touch on the ball. And the chance goes wide there for Turkey. In what really is the first little chance of the game for them to come forward. As Rees has just said he's had his first vaccine today. Good to hear. Hopefully you feel good tomorrow. Because I know, of course, the side effects can be a little bit interesting. Different for everyone, I guess. But I haven't had a vaccine yet. We'll have to see whenever I do get the chance to have one. But Dad's saying as well, beer at half time for me. That's not too bad, not too bad. But Carl's asked in the chat, do you see Italy as winners of the Euros? I mean, what I will do at half time is I will go through my predictions for the tournament, because I forgot to show those on the stream, and we'll probably go through them while the game goes on. But I personally don't think they'll win it. But I think what this Italian team has got is it's got a good grit about it. It's a very, very well-rounded team. It's got two of the very best centre-backs of the last decade in Chiellini and Bonucci. And I know, of course, Chiellini hasn't played much over the last 2 years because of the cruciate ligament injury he had for Juventus. So he's kind of been in and out of the squad. But he's still such a good player on his day. And I think when you've got someone like Bonucci next to him, another player who has got so much experience, been around the block, of course, Milan and Juve over the last few years. I do think they've got a good defence. Midfield-wise, arguably, two of the most informed players in Italy, midfield-wise, in Locatelli and Barella. But I'm going to stop for a second because Insigne on the wing here, the tricky 5'2" winger, tries to put forward, but really, really good defending at the back from Merck Demiral, who comes out of his centre-back position and just tracks the small Italian winger all the way out of the attacking half of the Italian plate and out for a throw-in. But I personally don't think Italy will win it. I think maybe for Italy, a quarters or a semis is where I think they could get to. But I think Italy, for me, are probably in the bracket of teams that have got enough about them that if they click, can win it, but other teams are better than them. And what I mean by that is, take Netherlands, for example. Got an incredible team. Depay, Wijnaldum, Van Dijk, of course, isn't here, sadly, but they've got De Ligt, De Jong. They've got so many good players which play for, top clubs across Europe that I do think a team like Netherlands, if they were to click, they've got a chance to win it, but I don't think they'd win it without a little bit of luck going their way. Because, the favourites for the tournament, Portugal, because they've got such a good squad. France, Germany will be a favourite. England, of course, up there is a favourite for the tournament, which I think is probably just English bias more than anything. But they've got a good squad, England. They've got a very good squad. But I do think teams like Italy, Netherlands have got a good chance of going far. Belgium as well, but maybe not winning it, as Turkey look to come forward here. Long ball towards Burak Yilmaz, and the ball gets to the veteran who flicks a ball into the box, doesn't get to anyone in the end, and Ozan Tufan tries to get the ball, but in the end the referee's actually going to bring it back for a free kick, and it will be an Italian free kick. Foul on Nicolo Barella, and free kick there just stops what was a little chance for Turkey to come forward in the first 10 minutes, and unfortunately it won't come to anything in the end. Reese asked if I made a league, Josh. Yes, I have. Fantasy League. I have made one. And if you guys do want to join, I will just get on my phone and I'll put the actual league we've got in the chat. Because we've got a Sports Corner 1, but I'll send you guys the link so you guys can get in there as well. So give me 2 seconds here. But yes, we have got a group. I'll put the link in the chat for you guys. If you want to join, of course, then do feel free to, because the more the merrier. But yeah, we've got a fantasy football team set up, which I will actually take a picture of. And I'll get that sorted out for you. But let me see if I can just copy the link. There we go. Let me copy that. And I'll put that guy in the chat for you guys so you can join. And if you want to join, then we are playing it on the official Euros fantasy football. Of course, you probably need your team to be set up by now, because I don't think you can have your team available, or you can make a team now. I think you had to make your team before this game started. But let me put the link in the chat for you. I think that's it. I hope that works. There we go. So if you want to join it, links in the chat there. I'll keep copying and pasting it throughout the night for anybody else which does want to join. But if you do want to join it, then do feel free to. And do tell us as well in the chat who you've got in terms of your teams, who you've got in your fantasy football sides. Because my team is a very interesting one. I've tried to balance it out as evenly as I possibly could. As Italy come forward here. It's going to be Locatelli on the ball. Barella into the path of... I think it was a shot there from Alessandro Florenzi. Doesn't get to anything in the end. And eventually the ball into the path of... the goalkeeper, Sakir, but it was Berardi, who took on the shot in the end. And very lively start, you have to admit, for a player like Berardi. He certainly looked a little bit dangerous in the first 10 or 15 minutes. Lots of opportunities for the Italian winger to try and get himself an opportunity on goal. As we just put Giroud for Golden Boot. Of course, I had to call it that. We know what Giroud's going to do. Golden Boot incoming. Probably not going to get a chance in the side, if I'm being honest with you. Now carrying Benzema's back, I don't think Giroud's going to get much of an opportunity, especially with everything that's been going on over the last few days with Mbappe and Giroud. Mbappe not in the best of books right now with Giroud, I think. But it's been a good start, this first 14 minutes, very lively. Two teams, of course, feeling it out in this first game. I think sometimes opening games can be a little bit flat, not have much of a rhythm to them, but these two teams have really started well. And let's not forget, usually when we come into these big tournaments, we do have, a little bit of a break before they start. Get a few weeks off, then they go into these international tournaments, so they've had that little bit of a break and a chance to get themselves ready. But realistically speaking, especially for England, for example, a lot of these players have only had about 2, maybe 3 weeks off max. If you're playing the Champions League, you've pretty much had 2 weeks off, maybe less, because you were playing in international friendlies as well. I think the last friendly was Portugal v Israel, and that was on Thursday. So you can kind of tell that a lot of these teams have tried to stay as fit as they possibly could and get as many, well, not as many games, but just get a good amount of fitness ahead of these fixtures. Which no doubt, I think pretty much every player will be as fit as they possibly could be, especially with the amount of games that they've played this season. But chance here for Italy to break forward. It's going to be Berardi into the path of Barella. Tries to play the ball to Berardi, getting back, heels it into Locatelli. Here's Spinazzola on the left wing. Now into Berardi, who's moved everywhere on the pitch so far. Tries to flick a ball into the box, and it's a good defensive block there in the end by Medash. And it won't come to anything. As Turkey defending really well so far in this first 20 minutes. Ball just eventually hoofed up the pitch by Turkey. Comes back to Italy again. It's going to be Lorenzo Insigne on the ball. Now into the path of Manuel Locatelli. He's going to play it back to Chiellini. And eventually, Italy just calm the play down here for a few moments. Keep it nice and relaxed. I think they know, especially if they've played this first 15 minutes out, that if they can get one chance on target, they're going to be in the mood for a few goals here, I think, Italy. But not saying that they're not going to get a few goals, Turkey. I think they're quite happy to sit back and defend. And hopefully, we'll have to see what happens if they can hit on the break. Because we've seen Burak Yilmaz is quite high up the pitch. But chance here for Spinazzola. Flicks a ball into the box. Calls for handball as it hits Zeki Celik on the hand there. But the referee is not going to acknowledge any of the calls for handball. Because VAR is in play if needed. As Italy come forward again. Here's a chance though for Lorenzo Insigne. Tries to go for the curled effort. But in the end, the tricky Italian winger just couldn't get the bend on the ball. And that was the first real chance, I feel, for Italy to get something in this game. And well, we're seeing the handball appeal again there. Handball on Celik. And, well, wasn't handball at all. I think it just came off Celik's arse more than his hand. But we're seeing that Insigne chance as well. Tries to bend it into the bottom right-hand corner. And in the end, it's just one of those where he didn't wrap his foot around it. Wasn't able to bend it into the bottom right-hand corner. But it's a good effort. And I think we know a player like Lorenzo Insigne, 9 times out of 10, if you can get an opportunity like that, usually he's going to bend that into the bottom right-hand corner and put it in the back of the net. But take it there. Maybe a little bit lucky that was his first chance of the game, as the home side are just having a little bit of pressure put on them right now by Italy. But Michael Brown, how you doing, buddy? Welcome along to the stream. He says, will you also be covering the Copa America? No, I don't think we will be. The only reason why is because, one, I wouldn't be able to do it because usually I'm not awake at that time anyway. But two, because we've got the Euros going on as well, we're going to try and cover as many of the Euro games as we possibly can. So that means games are going to be covered at 2, 5 and 8. It would then mean we'd have to cover games at 10 o'clock and I think it's 1 o'clock, the next game. So it'd just get too chaotic for us, in my opinion. So we're going to stick with the Euros for now. If any of the other guys do want to cover Copa America, then they might. But I think for now it will just be the Euros because we're going to try and cover pretty much 90% of the games. As Jorginho gets himself on the ball. And Italy come forward again. Here's Insigne at the edge of the box. Going to play it to Spinazzola. To Locatelli. Tries to play the ball into the path of Domenico Berardi, who'd just moved into a central forward position for the moment. Doesn't get to him. And Italy will have to press forward again as a long-range effort is taken on in the end by Leonardo Bonucci. But it's a very speculative effort at best. Takes it on about 40 yards out and, well, you can see ball's always curling away from goal. Very Vincent Kompany-esque when he scored against Leicester City a few years ago, but this time it was nowhere near towards the goal. But 20 minutes in, lots of opportunities for Italy. Not many chances as of yet for Turkey. But we'll have to see as this game continues on, because, of course, Turkey will get into this game as time goes on. But for now, they're just finding themselves on the back foot, I think is the best way to put it. As Chris says, France will win the Euros, in my opinion. Portugal to be runners-up. I would say whoever finishes top out of Group F, and to be fair, whoever gets out of Group F is going to be a favourite to win the tournament, no doubt. It's a very, very tough group to be in. There's brilliant chance here for a shot to be taken on by Immobile. Calls for a handball as the Italians' long-range effort does hit one of the Turkish players' hands. And Ciro Immobile madly protesting to the referee that should be a handball. And of course, the ball has gone out of play here. And we're going to see the replay again of his long-range effort. So the effort's taken on. And I mean, I don't think that's a handball. It's going to be a bit, yeah, I don't think that's a handball whatsoever. Ball kind of hits that. He does hit the hand, but he's got his hand towards the side there, Soyuncu, and I don't think that is a penalty mend, in my opinion. But I think, yep, the referees have agreed with me. No penalty. And Italy are going to get themselves a corner here. Maybe a chance to get themselves a nice early goal in the first 20 minutes. Daz asked in the chat, if we win the group, who do we play? We play, I think it's second in Group F. So realistically speaking, it's better for us to finish second or third and be one of the teams that goes through in third place than it would be to finish top. But to be honest, I personally think we have to face a tough team at any stage of the competition, regardless. So just finish as high as we can and see what happens. As corners lofted in towards Chiellini, and it's a big chance and a brilliant save from Sakir. That is a brilliant save from the Turkish keeper, who's at full stretch to keep out the Juventus man. And I don't know how, in that situation, a player like Chiellini is free in the box, but he gets a brilliant header on the ball, and Sakir does his best to make the save. And it's take two with the corner this time, as Chiellini's there again, and this time he tries to go for the back heel as Bonucci's header landed into the path of Chiellini, but he's eventually flagged as offside, and he's clearly offside this time. But again, another moment in this Turkish defence where they've just got to make sure that they keep themselves really, really close-eyed on the Italy players, because they are letting them have a fair share of opportunities in this first 20 minutes. And that was a brilliant save from Sakir. At full stretch to keep out his man. And for a second there, I thought that we were going to have Chiellini put the ball in the back of the net and have our first goal of Euro 2020. But looking at what you guys have been saying in the chat, keep your comments coming, of course, as always. Nice to have as many comments as we possibly can. Carl saying, in my opinion, Belgium and England must win the Euros. Belgium because they're ranked first and considered the best team in the world. England because of all the hype and how great their team is. See, the weird thing is, I think England have got a lot of pressure on them, and I think that's because of how hyped up I think they've been made out by English fans and things like that. I don't know with Belgium. I obviously, I don't know what Belgian media is kind of hyping this team up, what they want them to do. I mean, because they are ranked first, yes, they do have to be under pressure to go out there and win it. But I don't actually think they will feel pressure on them to go out there and win it, which might be a good thing for them, because I think everybody's looking at France, Portugal as the two kind of big favourites to go and win the tournament. And I think Belgium will be up there. In fact, when we go through my predictions at half-time, on what I think is going to happen in the tournament, I have put Belgium down to win it. I just think that the fact that they haven't got much pressure on them might allow them to just have a few more opportunities in games that maybe they wouldn't have expected. And I just personally think they've got a very good team. A lot of informed players, a lot of talented players. Some that maybe need to have big seasons. Others that have had big seasons and they'll be hoping that their form continues on. I just think Belgium have got a very good chance to win it. But it all depends on what happens and who they face in the knockout stages to whether they go out there and win it or not. But Chris saying Belgium need to head out of their own backsides and win at least one tournament. Should have already won it. In my opinion, they should have probably won the World Cup. I really do think that. I genuinely think the World Cup was their best chance of winning the tournament. Or a tournament. The Euros as well, 2016. Again, I think that was another one where they should have probably gone on and won it. The fact that they lost to Wales in that incredible match. When they lost 3-1. Hal Robson-Kanu and Ashley Williams and Sam Vokes all scoring. That's a memory and a half, isn't it, that game? But I think it's one of those where Belgium have got to go out there and win it. But they probably won't feel a great deal of pressure on them, in my opinion. I think another team that needs to do well, Germany. They need to put the past tournament, the World Cup, behind them and go out there and see what they can do. But there is a potential chance that one of the teams in Group F misses out and gets knocked out in the groups. It all depends on what happens with who beats who in the group stages. Because remember, 4 of the third place sides do go through to the next round. And as I said, there is a potential chance that if one of the likes of Portugal, France or Germany don't pick up a great deal of points in the early section of the first 3 games, we might actually see one of them knocked out in the group stages, which would be not necessarily embarrassing because of the group that they were in, but would be very disappointing for 3 teams that would arguably be expecting to at least reach the semis, I would say, for all 3 of those teams. As Chris has said in the chat, previous tournaments were Belgium's opportunities to win it. They need to start doing it because that squad's going to get older. And yeah, I think when you look at the squad that they've got, I think there's a lot of players in that team now that are getting on. Hazard's 30. You know, when you think about it, when we get to the World Cup, I think he's going to be 31. That'll be probably his second to last World Cup or Euros before he'd retire. Vertonghen and Alderweireld aren't getting any younger. De Bruyne, still very good, going to be class for a few years, but you know, he's probably going to have 1 or 2 World Cups before he goes. I do think that they've got to ultimately make the most of this next 2 tournaments, the World Cup and the Euros, because after that, I think there could be some, not tough times ahead, but it's not going to be as good of a squad, in my opinion. Because they had Hazard, world-class player. They had De Bruyne, world-class player. They've got Lukaku, world-class player. Courtois, one of the best goalkeepers in world football. Alderweireld and Vertonghen, which, let's not forget, the last time we saw them at the Euros and the World Cup, were arguably one of the best defenders in the Premier League. Sean's asked who's with Germany, Spain and France in their group. It's Germany, Portugal, France and Hungary in Group F. But chance here for Spinazzola to come forward on the left wing. Can he get himself a chance on goal? Urat Medash doing very good defending so far to keep close to Spinazzola, keep him out. Here's Locatelli though. The 23-year-old young midfielder who is trying his hardest here to break the Turkish defence down that have stayed so rigid so far in this game. Here's Jorginho, Champions League winner with Chelsea. After that 1-0 win against Manchester City a few weeks ago. Ball played now into the path of Barella, who flicks a ball into the box. Doesn't get to anyone in the end, and it'll be an Italian throw-in. And Turkey here really having to defend for their lives. Here's Barella, who goes down in the box. Referee not going to give a penalty. Play continues as Insigne's at the edge of the box. Here's Spinazzola, as there are 6 players back for Turkey. Chance, though, taken on by Nicola Barella from outside the box. And, well, that was a similar chance to what we saw earlier from Leonardo Bonucci. A long-range effort that was really poor in the end. And it goes out of play for a goal kick. And again, Turkey, although they've had a lot of opportunities for Italy to come forward, I think have been all right so far. They'll not be happy with how they've played. I think they'll probably want their side to push forward a little bit and go out there and get a goal in this game. But I do think Turkey have defended quite well. And we know today for them, it is probably all about counter-attacking and making the most of the few opportunities that they are going to have on goal. But I do think they've done fairly decent in this first half an hour. And as we saw before, you know, when we look back at the opening matches again, which I put on the screen, realistically, a lot of these games don't tend to have goals. Although saying that, Spinazzola's going to drive forward, tries to play the ball into Ciro Immobile, and it doesn't get to him in the end. And now a opportunity for Turkey to counter-attack, in which Turkey will get a free kick in their defensive half. But they're going to take it short and just slow the game down here, as Italy have put some real pressure on the technical home side in tonight's match. Reece saying if only Belgium played Chadley at left back. They haven't even taken Chadley. That's how poor they are. Shocking from them. And then Sean saying cheers for that, Josh. Hungary might cause an upset though, like the ferret did in the darts. We'll have to see. I mean, all I can remember from Hungary, the last time they faced off against Portugal, was probably one of the best games we've had at the Euros in years. That 3-3 draw against Portugal, where Balázs Džučák, one of my favourite players of all time, scored 2 goals, 2 deflected goals as well, against Portugal. And of course Cristiano Ronaldo scoring 2 as well. That was one of the best games I think we had at the Euros in 2016. Absolute corker of a match that was. Absolute corker. Does us as anyone from the Premier League officials gone to the Euros? Honestly, mate, couldn't tell you. Haven't got an idea. As Insigne drives forward, flicks the ball into the box. Good defending in the end, where Ozan Tufan just gets a touch on the ball. And it will be a corner for Italy, with 31 minutes on the clock. Will they be able to get a goal soon? We'll have to find out. And Fernand's saying, I just saw Pookie's pic on Google. He had hair. He did, yeah. He used to have hair back when he used to play for... I think it was when he used to play for Hammarby. He used to have hair. You wouldn't be able to tell these days, would you? As Italy take the corner. Going to be played into the path of Jorginho. Sakir gets a touch on the ball. A few calls for a free kick. Or penalty even from Chiellini. Referee's going to wave those shouts away. And in the end, Italy will come forward again. Can they get themselves a goal here? With 13 minutes left on the clock before half time. Here's Insigne. Drives forward. Lovely ball to Domenico Berardi. Flicks the ball towards the near post. Comes towards Immobile, who does get a decent header on the ball, but his header goes wide of the mark. And although Sakir is stretching for the ball, he just can't get the ball into the back of the net. And you've got to say, I think Italy here and Mancini probably will be a little bit disappointed that they haven't got a goal here in the first 30 minutes. Plenty of opportunities. In fact, when you actually look at the first half an hour at the stats of the game, Italy have 8 shots, 1 on target. Turkey have not had a single shot yet in the game. And they are kind of just defending for their lives right now. But what a player Ciro Immobile is. Of course, had a brilliant few seasons at Lazio. Struggled this season, haven't they, Lazio, unfortunately. Didn't actually make the Champions League. Only got themselves Europa League football. In fact, I don't even know if they got that in the end. But I've got a lot of fun facts I can tell you about all the players today. I've done my research as we have a look at Alessandro Florenzi on the ball, of course, at right back. 43 appearances he's had for Italy at the age of 30. Was a Puskás finalist, remember, a few years ago, when he scored that incredible goal, the halfway line goal against Barcelona in the Champions League, where he caught Marc-Andre ter Stegen off his line. Absolute belter of a goal that was. And one of the best goals I think we'll ever see. As Sakir plays the ball up the pitch for Turkey. And in the end, he's tried to find Burak Yilmaz up top, but his pass hasn't gone anywhere near the forward. And the goalkeeper's ball goes out of play for a throw-in. And I also found out something about the goalkeeper as well, Sakir. He actually didn't want to be a goalkeeper originally. His coach convinced his father that he was a good goalkeeper because he got massive hands. So he tried out as a goalkeeper. And, those massive hands are coming in very, very good stead today for Turkey, who have had to have a fair few opportunities saved in this game in the first 35 minutes. Here comes Yazici, though. Ball played towards his little teammate, Burak Yilmaz. And Burak Yilmaz will push forward, the veteran. Plays the ball into Yazici. Flick towards Tufan. Donnarumma has to punch. And in the end, that was the first little chance where Donnarumma has had to do something in this game. And well, here come Turkey again. It's going to be Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who's on the ball now on the right wing. He's got Yazici next to him, who tries to take the touch. And it's a bobbling ball, which is really awkward for the playmaker to touch. And in the end, Italy get the ball back. And that's the first time that the alarm bells have been ringing in this game. Because Burak Yilmaz is a very dangerous man. Very dangerous. You know, he's getting on with age now. But he certainly has a lot of pace about him. Even at the age of, I think he's 36. Nicknamed Kral, which is king in Turkish. And after the season he had at Lille, I think we know why he's called Kral. Because he has certainly been a stellar talent for Los Lille this season. One of the only players as well to play for the big four teams in Turkey. The only player to have actually ever done it in the Turkish side. Played for Beşiktaş, Fenerbahçe, Galatasaray and Trabzonspor. Which is quite the achievement, because usually if you do that, you find yourself a little bit of a target. But he's made himself probably one of Turkey's best ever legends of football. And as I said, the right old age of 35, 36, he's still doing it in the top leagues today. And fair play to him, as chance here for Italy to come forward. Insigne tries to play the ball into the path of Immobile. Chiellini edges the box, plays it to Insigne, who goes for the curler. And this time, he coils the ball straight into the hands of Sakir. It's a very tame effort, which does get a slight deflection off Yokuşlu. And we know that a player like Immobile, Insigne, give him space, and he will have a few chances on goal. And I think Sakir hasn't really massively been tested so far in this game, but as this game goes on, I think there'll be a few more opportunities for Italy to try and get the first goal of the match as we reach the final 10 minutes of the first half. 0-0 as it stands in this match, the opening fixture of Euro 2020. If you are new to the stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like and subscription. We'll talk you through all of the games coming up on the Sports Corner over the next few weeks, because this is only the first game of a big chunk of matches over the next month. It's going to be a very, very exciting month of football, I'll tell you that for sure. But we've got some brilliant games to come. We've got England, Croatia. We've got, of course, Portugal, France. Any game from Group F is a belter, if I'm being honest with you. And, of course, Turkey, Italy right now is the main game of the night. As looking at what you guys have been saying in the chat, Daz thinks it's an England v Wales final. Okay, well, I mean, if you were to have a bet on that, Daz, I think the bookies wouldn't pay you out on that, because it'd be very, very unlikely. But you never know. I mean, Wales have got an alright side, but I really do think Group B's a tricky one. I think a lot of people... Group A's a tough one. I think a lot of people are underestimating Group A. Turkey are a good side. Italy are a quality side. Switzerland are very high ranked. And Wales as well, of course, have got previous history in the Euros. So I think all four teams have got good capability of going out there and progressing to the next round. But unfortunately, one of them's going to have to miss out. And potentially two of them, if one of them doesn't go through as one of the top four third-place sides. As Italy look to come forward again, it's going to be Chiellini on the ball. Plays it into Spinazzola on the left wing. Had a lot to do in this first 40 minutes, Spinazzola. Not really done much with the ball, but tries to break forward here as Chiellini into the path of Jorginho. Now it's Berardi, overlapping run by other players. But Berardi goes for the long-range effort. And his long-range effort sails over the bar and out of play for a goal kick. On what's been a fairly lively 40 minutes, you have to say, for Domenico Berardi. Had a few little efforts in this game, but I'd probably say his long-range effort was the worst of the lot. Completely high and wide, never really going towards goal, and Sakir is just able to keep himself calm for a few moments as he's not really tested whatsoever by that shot. But 6 minutes left here of the first half. Are we going to see a chance before half time? Or will we be going in at a stalemate in this opening match of the tournament? As Donnarumma plays out from the back. Here's Florenzi. Going to be under Jose Mourinho next season at Roma. Had that time out at PSG. Did really well, actually. Quite surprised that PSG in the end did not opt to buy Florenzi. Brilliant, brilliant player on his day. Had a few injuries here and there, but the 30-year-old, of course, going to be going back to Italy, back to Roma again. Well, we'll be hoping that he gets a good amount of game time next season under new manager Mourinho. As we enter the final 5 minutes of this first half. Here's Barella into the path of Insigne, who has been one of the more lively players on the pitch in this first 40 minutes. I think you could arguably say all three of the forwards have been fairly lively in this game. With desperate defending from Turkey to keep out this Italian side. As Umut Merash just hoofs the ball out of play. Here's Locatelli. Lovely dinked ball, but the dinked ball in the end is straight to the hands of Sakir. And the Trabzonspor keeper is able to keep the ball in his hands and just run down the clock. As Locatelli, I think maybe a little bit here, Italy trying to take on that long-range effort, see if they can catch out the keeper with some speculative effort. And I think in the final third, they've not been as good, in my opinion. I think they could have probably passed it about a little bit more, tried to get it into the box. But they seem quite focused on maybe going for long-range efforts. But here is Insigne on the left wing. What can the tricky winger do? Plays the ball into the path of Berardi, who has been everywhere on the pitch. Insigne. Now into Barella, who is probably being one of Inter Milan's best players this season. Florenzi. Now into Barella. Here's Jorginho into Chiellini. Was going to go for the long-range effort, but plays it to Spinazzola on the left wing. What can the Roma winger do? Has the ball on the left wing just outside of the box. Now into Insigne, who could go for the curler. Plays it to the edge of the box to Chiellini. Ball comes off the keeper. Of course, advantage played. There are 7 plays in the box for Turkey. As ball's dinked towards the near post. And Immobile's not going to get there, but Florenzi will instead. Here's Barella into Florenzi. Another ball lobbed into the box. And the Italians' cross is a little bit too heavy. But it will come back to Italy again. Here is Insigne. Just inside the box. In the middle of the pitch. Back heel towards Immobile. Back to Insigne. Tries to play the ball to Immobile once again, but the ball is cleared away, and it feels very desperate from this Turkish side as Chiellini goes down. But the referee is not giving a free kick. Even Turkey thought it was going to be a free kick there for a second. And play continues with the ball back with Italy again. And it does feel like Italy have got to surely open the scoring soon. Here's Barella. 35-40 yards out from goal. Plays it towards Insigne. Lovely work here as Immobile drives into the box, and it's a good powerful effort from the Lazio striker. But in the end, after all that passing, all that possession from the away side, it doesn't come to anything, and it's again another comfortable save for Sakir in goal, who is just able to get down low and get a comfortable save. As again, Italy here, 0-0 in this match. Still trying to find themselves an opportunity in this game as Turkey come forward. Could be a chance here for Burak Yilmaz, who goes down in the box. Could be a call for a penalty. And the referee is not going to give a penalty in the end. Burak Yilmaz bemused by the decision from the ref. But I think in the end, he knows there that, yeah, it was never going to be a penalty in the end, I think. Trying to play on the referee there. And I think a little bit desperate for Turkey there to get a pen. And yeah, even the cameras there stopped for a second. Didn't want to see that opportunity for a penalty shout. But a minute and 20 seconds left here, 0-0. Just feels like, doesn't it, that at some point they've got to score in this game. And you would expect it to be fairly soon. But play will continue on here, as we'll probably enter. I doubt really we'll get any additional time is Spinazzola, who has been really good. And he drives forward. Inside of the box, Spinazzola calls for a handball. Referee waves it away again. Insigne, edge of the box, takes on the shot. Then hits the hand of Barella. Then the Turkish players were calling for a handball. But it's not given in the end. And Italy have got the ball back again. What can they do with the ball here? Locatelli into the path of Spinazzola. Who I would probably agree with you, Reese. I think Spinazzola's been very good in this game. Jorginho, ball towards Immobile, and eventually it's Berardi who gets the touch on the ball, and that will probably be the final chance of the first half. And I think the referees had a fair share of opportunities to give penalties in this game. And again, it's another penalty shout on Zeki Selik, and it's too close to be giving that as a penalty. Yes, it does touch the Lille's player's hand, but I think that's going to be really harsh if that was given as a penalty. But VAR is checking for a penalty here, and the penalty is going to be looked at, and the referee will wave it away, which was the right decision. Good to see the referee nice and quick with the decision. And, well, I don't think we're going to have much additional time. And the referee will give a free kick here for Turkey, as I believe we've probably got a minute of additional time here. And, of course, that VAR check is over. Reece saying VAR would have given all of the handball counts. If it was Premier League officials, we'd have had about 5 penalties in this game by now. But we've actually got some good European officials involved, so at least we don't have to sit there watching the shit decisions from the shittest refs in world football. But free kick here for Turkey. Might have one more chance before half time, but the referee's not going to allow it. And the first half draws to a close, and it's going to be half time in a game where the game has been dominated by Italy in the first 45 minutes. It is a 0-0 draw at half time, and Italy, they've had their fair share of chances. One of the best opportunities of the game was a chance which Chiellini had in the box from a corner. Really good taken effort, which was saved by Sakir in goal. There was a few other opportunities as well, a couple of handball shouts and penalty shouts, which the referee has rightly waved away. I think there's been 3 or 4 penalty shouts which have been turned down in the end. But at half time, we go into the game at 0-0. It does feel like a case here of how long is it before Italy open the scoring. But more than anything, Turkey will be fairly happy with how the game has played out so far. 0-0 at half time, which I think will be quite good for Turkey. Not so good for Italy, especially when they've had so many chances in this game to go out there and get themselves an opportunity to at least put the ball into the back of the net. But if you are new to the stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel. We are covering pretty much the majority of Euro 2020 on the channel. Lots of games to come, of course, over the next few weeks and pretty much over the next month. So if you don't want to sit back, relax, watch a bit of alternative commentary, sit back, watch us go absolutely mental when England score, then I would highly, highly recommend sticking around with us over the next month, because it's going to be an absolutely brilliant Euros tournament. No doubt plenty of opportunities and no doubt plenty of brilliant goals to come over the next month or so. If you want to check out as well when we do go live over the next few weeks and months over the Euros, then do check out our social media links. Our Twitter is @_top corner. The link is in the description as always. We always tweet out on there when we do go live with our content, especially over the Euros. There's going to be lots of content to come. And we'll also be posting up on Instagram as well. So if you haven't checked out our Instagram, we are going to be using that much more consistently now with the Euros on. Then our Instagram is _sportscorner_. You can find out when we go live on there. And we'll also be posting the lineups for all of the matches throughout the tournament. So if you do want to find out who's going to be playing in each game, then I would highly recommend checking out the lineups and checking us out on Instagram, because you can find out who's going to be facing off against who over the next few weeks. So that is the social media links, of course. As we said, social media, always nice and busy. We've also got a new offer on the table. You'll know that over the last few weeks, we introduced the join button for you guys, our Sports Corner Premium, which we said the more people that get involved with it, the more we'll do new and different content. You'll have noticed as well in the chat, Reese has got his Sports Corner badge, which does upgrade. Of course, there are tiers, so each time you do subscribe, You get a 1 month sub badge, you get a 3 month sub badge, 6 month sub badge, 9 month sub badge, and then you get your elusive golden crown 12-month badge, which looks very nice indeed. And over the Euros, we've got a nice little special offer for you guys going on. So over the Euros, usually it's $4.99 a month to join us. You can join us for $2.99 a month on our special Euros deal. You get all of the same stuff as you would with the usual $4.99 package, but you get it for even cheaper. So if you do want to join us on there, then I would highly, highly recommend it. We're going to have exclusive Euros content potentially on there with podcasts and certain exclusive matches potentially with that as well. So if you do want to check that out, then all you got to do, click the join button, $2.99 a month. You can choose the subscriptions you want, whether you want to subscribe for a month or a few months. And as I said, the more subscribers we get on there, the more exclusive content we'll do for you guys on the paid side of stuff. So that is the subscription stuff going on there. Let's talk about the match, because it's 0-0 right now at half time. And my lord, the amount of opportunities Italy have had in this game where they could have arguably had the ball in the back of the net is quite astounding. Stats wise, Turkey haven't had a single shot in the game, no shots, none on target. There was one little effort in the match, which was kind of lobbed towards Burak Yilmaz. He tried to get on the ball, but in the end, I think Turkey really lacking options in the box. There's so many of them back right now trying to defend that literally the only player up the pitch is Burak Yilmaz. I think we're just seeing right now, from what I could see, there was 8 players back at one point for Turkey, which means they only realistically had 2 players in Yazici and Yilmaz that could do the work up top. And let's be honest, yes, Burak Yilmaz is a fairly quick player, but he's not the fastest. And arguably, it's been quite easy for Italy to be able to break down this Turkish side and stop them from being able to push forward. And fair play to them. They've done very well, Italy. 14 shots, 3 on target. Probably feel like they should have had the ball in the back of the net. I think they'll feel a little bit unjustified that they've not had a penalty either, with 2 shouts of handballs on Zeki Çelik. But I think the referee there, right decision in the end to not give either of them as a handball. I think it would have been very, very harsh to have given any of them as a handball. But look, I think if the game continues on the same way it has, then I do think as time goes on and time pushes forward, Italy will get a goal in this game. I don't think they have to change anything right now, personally. I think they're quite good, quite cushy in the match. Turkey, however, I think they've got to change something in this match, because I just don't think they can continue playing with just Burak Yilmaz up top on his own, trying to hoof it long. I think sometimes it'll work, and Burak Yilmaz will be able to test the back line, but I'm just seeing like an overhead shot from the top of the stadium looking down. There is so much space between Burak Yilmaz and his midfield that it is pretty much going to be so hard for them to break down the away side. But we'll talk about the benches and that in a little moment's time, and we'll have ourselves a little talk on who could maybe come on and make the difference in the game. But as we said before, throughout the tournament, of course, we have made our predictions for the Euros. Of course, there isn't just me covering the Euros over the next few weeks. It's going to be all of us on the Sports Corner. We're going to have myself. We've got, of course, Rowan. We've got both the Kierans. We're going to have Will, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'd be nice if we could get Adam on at some point, because we do like having Adam on the channel. So if Adam is available, then we'll see if we can sneak him on for 1 or 2 watch-alongs throughout the Euros. But as we said before, we've all made our predictions over the next few months for who we think is going to win the tournament, our surprise packages, and vice versa. So it seems quite rather fitting for me to show my prediction today. And as the week continues on, we'll go through the other guys' predictions and what they think is going to happen in the tournament. So at halftime, we'll go through mine. And as you can see on the screen, these are my predictions for the Euros and what I think is going to happen. Starting off with the winners, I've gone for Belgium. The reason why I went for Belgium is I did my prediction for the tournament on the Euro Simulator, or the Euro app, the fantasy football one. And I genuinely think Belgium, like Kyle said, have got to go out there and try and win it. I think being the number 1 ranked team in the world, they will not keep that status if somebody wins this tournament. Especially as well with Copa America going on, the likes of Argentina and Brazil will be moving up the rankings if they win Copa America as well. So I do personally think that there will be a lot of pressure on Belgium to go out there and win it, which is why I've gone for them. I think they will thrive under that pressure. And I hope that we do get to see a little bit more of Eden Hazard at his very best, because it's been a little bit too long now where we haven't been able to see Eden Hazard doing his thing. And it'd be nice if, for Belgium, he went out there and was fit and was able to go out there and smash a few goals in. So I'm going to go Belgium in terms of who's going to win the tournament. Golden Boot-wise, I've gone Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo's got a very good opportunity this year to go out there and maybe get himself the Golden Boot. I think other shouts and candidates, Harry Kane, of course, is always going to be a favourite. I think Karim Benzema as well would be a big shout. Now he's back in the France squad. Romelu Lukaku as well, I think he's another massive favourite to go on and win the Golden Boot. But I'm going to go Ronaldo. I think that opportunity could maybe come against Hungary. Got a very good record when he's faced off against Hungary in the past. So I'm going to go Ronaldo on that one. I think if Portugal can get through to the next rounds, they are going to be hoping that CR7 turns up. And I think especially with Serie A as well, not really being his best season, hasn't really come to life there. Maybe it's a good opportunity for CR7 to do it on the international stage and maybe sneak a little move away from Juve if needed. Most assists, I've gone for Kevin De Bruyne. I think if Belgium are going to win it, I think De Bruyne will be up there with a shout to be the player with the most assists. In fact, he got 4 assists at the previous Euros, and they made the semi-finals. So I think if they could make something similar like that again, then I do think Kevin De Bruyne could be up there as a favourite. Quite interestingly, the other guys have gone for some very different players. Be interested to see what you guys think in terms of who's going to have the most assists by the end of the tournament. Surprise package, I've gone for Ukraine. I think it's quite hard to maybe class Ukraine as a surprise package these days. They've done so well over the last few months. But when you look at other teams around them, I think Ukraine are a very underappreciated team. They beat Portugal recently. They beat Holland, I think, a few years ago, or like a year or two ago, something like that. They've got a very good pedigree, beating some of the best sides. So I do think Ukraine have got a very good shout of getting out of their group and maybe surprising a few people. A very strong side as well. Really, really, really good, well-rounded squad. Biggest disappointment, funnily enough, a team actually from their group. I've gone for the Netherlands. The reason I've gone for them is because I really fucking hate De Boer. I think he's a terrible manager. And arguably, if there is one player I would have not had... one manager, sorry, I wouldn't have had in charge of Netherlands. I wouldn't probably have had De Boer. I would have rather had a 94-year-old Louis van Gaal manage Netherlands, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, maybe he proves me wrong, De Boer. Maybe he goes out there and they win the tournament. But you never know. I just don't like him. I think he's had a very bad record of managing clubs. He's probably one of the only managers ever that hasn't been able to do it in the MLS, which is, I think, a bit of worrying for him, because he's a good manager on his day. Don't get me wrong. He had a very good record when he was at Ajax. But over the last few years, his record has been awful. And I just feel that might taint the Netherlands a little bit. Especially with how they've come into the Euros as well. 2-2 draw against Scotland as well is quite unfortunate. And then one to watch, of course, Manuel Locatelli. I've gone for Locatelli. Of course, had a fairly decent game so far for Italy. Been very, very good indeed. I think he is one of the players to watch out for. Of course, linked with the move away to Manchester City and Juve. So could be potentially a shout to just maybe see whether or not he can light it up at one of the biggest tournaments in world football. I mean, Bernardo's made a very fair point. KDB is out injured. I don't know how long he's out for. I'm hoping it's more of a case he's only out for maybe like the first game. Because if he is, I still think KDB could go out there and maybe get himself a few assists on the board, even if he was to miss the first match. But, if he's out for 2 or 3 games, then yeah, he probably isn't going to be the top assister in the tournament, is he? But what we will do is, over the tournament, we'll go through the rest of the guys' predictions. Of course, we'll be talking about tomorrow's games in a moment, and we'll go for everybody's predictions over the next week, and we'll have a look at the end of the tournament, when it's all done and dusted, who was right and who was wrong. So that is the predictions for now. Let's have a look at what's to come on the channel over the next few days. Of course, it is a action-packed week, an action-packed month of action on the Sports Corner, and you can join Rowan tomorrow for Central Coast Mariners against MacArthur Bulls. It's the elimination finals of the A-League. Rowan will be live at 10 a.m. for that, and then, of course, the other Group A game, you can join myself and KL at 1:55 as Wales take on Switzerland. Last match of Group A. Denmark take on Finland in Group B. You can join Rowan for 4:55 tomorrow. 2 games from Rowan, and then the final game of the night, you can join myself at 10 to 8. We'll be covering all the action from the day, as well as Belgium-Russia. That's from 10 to 8, kick-off at 8 o'clock. And then the big one, England taking on Croatia. I don't just think it'll be on my own. I think there'll probably be a fair few of us for that one. You can join me either way for that. That is on Sunday from 5 to 2. And then, of course, we've got a whole host of other matches to come as well as the tournament continues on. So, as I said, don't forget, you can join everyone tomorrow for all 3 games. They're all getting covered tomorrow. That's Wales-Switzerland. That'll be with myself and KL from 2 p.m. UK time. We'll be talking about all of the day's action as well as that big match between Wales and Switzerland. Should be a belter of a game, that one. Denmark-Finland, you can join Rowan. He's going to be covering that game on his own. Should be a very interesting game, that one. And then, as I said before, you can join myself from 8 p.m. UK time. Belgium taking on Russia from 8 p.m. Should be an absolute belter of a game, that one. Of course, both teams have been very, very good. Yeah, I would say so myself over the last few years. Should be one of the standout games, in my personal opinion. But for the moment, we are just going to take a quick break, a chance to have a breather, because it is fucking warm in the UK right now, and no doubt, my mouth is dry, as you can tell, and some of you guys might want to go and get yourself a drink. So we'll be back in about a moment, I'd probably say about a minute or two, for the second half of action between Turkey and Italy. Don't go anywhere. Score as it stands, 0-0 at half time. And just like that, break over. Thank you very much for those of you guys that did wait a moment. Very short break, of course, because we're about to get underway with the second half of action. And quite interestingly, both teams have made changes going into the second half. And I guess as well, I think Florenzi has been out injured for large parts of the back end of the season. Hence why he's had to come off. Di Lorenzo, Napoli man, coming on at half-time for him. But we've also had a change, as we expected, from Turkey. They've gone and put a winger on, Yusuf Yazici coming off, and they brought on former Leicester man. Of course, he isn't going back there. Poor, pretty crap loan spell, didn't he, really, at Leicester City. Cengiz Under has come on at half-time for him. So a little bit of a change in system, you feel, there for Turkey. As we get underway with the second half, what is this going to bring? Are we going to see a mouth-watering second half, or is this going to be a stalemate for the first match of the tournament? Luckily, I actually get to say for once, I'm in time. Of course, because these games are actually being covered on terrestrial TV, I don't have to sit there and say the usual shit that I'm about 5 years behind, because it's on TV. So I get to actually be in time, which means you can't spoil it for me. Come on, as we get underway the second half. And here's Di Lorenzo on the ball, into Berardi. Plays the ball to Di Lorenzo again, and very lively start there from the Napoli fullback, who very nearly had a chance on goal 50 seconds in. And yes, Benaldo, you are right. Hydration break definitely needed. I think it's about 24, 25 degrees here in the UK, so very warm weather. And of course, with all the equipment on, it is boiling in here. You'll have seen before as well the walls I have in the background. It probably is about 27, 28 in this room right now, as Italy take a corner here. And, well, that was a very, very confusing one there. Short corner was taken, but Berardi was offside. And just looking at that, yeah, it was he was offside. I don't know what was going on there. Real waste of a corner there. Tried to take it short. I mean, in the end, Berardi's flagged himself as offside. Don't know what he was thinking there, really. But yeah, I'm slowly going to get plunged into darkness as well. Apologies about that. As we do get later on into the night. It's actually quite bright outside, but the problem I have with this room is usually I would be in a very good position to just be able to go out there and have the lights on, everything be bright. But with the way that this room is, I am so condensed with no space. Everything is so tight. The green screen is bloody literally next to me. I've got no way of being able to really move. So it is a little bit dark in here. With the walls as well, it's kind of very dark in here anyway, regardless. So, yeah, probably with these nighttime ones, I will slowly get plunged into darkness as the night goes on. But yeah, that was a terrible, terrible corner, wasn't it? Probably one of the worst corners I've seen. Don't know what they were thinking there, as Turkey get themselves a free kick. In the attacking half of play, as I was saying before, Cengiz Under on loan at Leicester City never really kind of had a great spell there, did he really? Wasn't picked to the back end of the season by Brendan Rodgers. I think he scored 1 or 2 goals. Maybe 1, I think. But yeah, he'll be back next season. Again, another player at Roma who'll be with Mourinho alongside the likes of Spinazzola and Florenzi. But here's Yilmaz as he drives forward. Plays the ball into Cengiz Under, who goes down. Calls for a free kick. But in the end, one substitute knocking into the other. And the referee isn't going to give a free kick to Turkey. And I think maybe that might have been a foul in the end, and the referee hasn't given it. As Jacob's in the building, mate. How you doing? Oh, you're good as always, lad. But there you go. That's what they've just said in commentary. 1 Premier League game he had on loan at Leicester. Didn't really have a great time there at all, did he? As Daz has said, is there any VAR, Josh? Yes, there is. There is VAR. Ball lofted over the top towards the path of Berardi, who made the run forward. But in the end, it doesn't come to anything, and it'll go back into the hands of Sakir, who is going to have to do a fair share of goalkeeping in this first 50 minutes. Ball played into the path of Burak Yilmaz, where I think he would have been flagged as offside anyway. So he stops his run, and maybe now a chance here for Italy to come forward. It's the lively Domenico Berardi. Plays the ball into Di Lorenzo, trying to get it back to Berardi in the end, who doesn't get the touch. And the ball is booted up the pitch. And yeah, as Jacob's put, he's in Switzerland, the VAR. You are spot on there, my friend. You are spot on. Of course, they're always going to have VAR in these games. There would be absolutely no chance that the Euros was not going to have VAR. And as we've said before, usually, we saw it at the World Cup in 2018, it's usually quite good when they have the international officials on. Usually very quick, very speedy. I think it was the first tournament it was used. I think it was Euro 2016, I think, when it was a little bit dodgy. And it took a while, but I think it's been fairly alright over the last few years. In the international tournaments, at the very least. Not Premier League. I think the Premier League's got a lot of work to do. Probably more the officials than the actual VAR itself. But I just think, more than anything, that the international refs are usually the best when it comes to VAR. As we're going to have a break in play here for an injury. And I think it's Merash who's gone down. Yeah, Umut Merash has gone down. Had quite a decent game so far, being one of the defenders in this game that's had to scrap hard at the back on this very strong Italian attacking line. But the good news is for Merash, he's going to continue. And play will continue with a free kick for Italy. About 35 yards out. Going to play it short into Insigne, who tries then to play it forward. It doesn't come to anything. And now there's a chance here for Turkey to break. It's a 3-on-1. Cengiz Under is going to have to go on his own. Under goes on his own. Takes the shot on at the near post. But a slight deflection in the end, which comes off Spinazzola. And into the hands of Donnarumma. And it was a good bit of work there from Cengiz Under. Looked up. Had to see if there were any other Turkish players with him. He knew he had to go on his own. And Spinazzola does really well to get in front of his man. Just block the shot. And it makes it actually a little bit more easy there for Donnarumma to make the save. As it would have gone out of play because of that deflection. But you can see, in terms of passes completed, Italy have completed twice the passes that Turkey have. 350 for Italy, 157 for Turkey, which gives you a rough idea of how it's panned out so far, as the ball is hoof long towards the path of the 5'2" Lorenzo Insigne, who, I'll tell you one thing, is not heading the ball at the height of 5'2" now, is he? Absolutely no chance, and the keeper comes down and is able to head the ball away. And as you would have expected, the first 5 or so minutes of the second half have continued on in the same vein as the first half did, as the ball comes towards Berardi inside the box. It's Domenico Berardi, plays it in, and there is the first goal of the Euros, and it comes off the back of Merih Demiral, and just like that, Italy take the lead, and it takes them only 7 minutes to find a way to open the scoring in the first match of the Euros, and it is a man who plays in Italy who unfortunately puts it in the back of his own net. Merih Demiral with the own goal, and it's 1-0 to Italy. And it was the ball which Domenico Berardi put in. And in the end, it's a really, really powerful cross. Just smashes it in. And then Merih Demiral is in the middle of the box. There's not much he can do in that situation. He comes off his shoulder, ricochets into the bottom right-hand corner of the goal. And after all that work of sitting back and defending, it now means that Turkey are going to have to push up the pitch a little bit more as Italy finally take the lead. And it's Merih Demiral, the Juventus centre-back, who puts Italy into a 1-0 lead. And we have a first goal of the tournament. There we go. And I get to be the first one to cover it. How blessed am I? And as I said, look, it now means that they're going to have to come out, Turkey, and push forward in this game. You know, they've sat back for quite large parts in this match, and I don't think for them, to be honest with you, it's going to work sitting back any longer. I think you're probably going to have to maybe put 2 up top now and change it up a little bit. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to very quickly turn my light on because it is very, very dark in this room, and I don't want to plunge into darkness. So do give me 2 seconds here. They're coming forward again, though, Italy. Chance taken on by Spinazzola. Comes towards Berardi. Overhead kick is taken. And in the end, the overhead kick is completely wide of the mark from Ciro Immobile. But a good chance that was. And very nearly there, Spinazzola putting Italy 2-0 in front. And that would have really put the cat among the pigeons, wouldn't it, for Turkey? If Sakir had not made the save. But again, does really well. Straight down the middle. Gets his 2 hands onto it. And I think going to be a goal kick for Turkey. And this is the energy that I think Italy needed in that first half. And as you can expect, the 16,000 fans there, probably mostly all Italians, at the Stadio Olimpico tonight, will be absolutely bouncing at the fact that they've taken a 1-0 lead in this game. As Daz has asked, do you think we'll play Trippier on the right and Shaw on the left on Sunday? It's a tough one, that. I would have said, well, Trent's not there anymore, is he? Yeah, I think we might do that. I think Trippier has to start for me, personally. I think he's been brilliant this season for Atletico Madrid. And I know people will use the excuse of that he hasn't played much this season, but he played 40 plus games, even with a suspension. So it kind of tells you how crucial he was to Atletico Madrid and how valued he was by Simeone. So I do think, yeah, I think we should play him. But hopefully, that light's actually looks a bit more brighter in the room now, doesn't it? Much more bright. But yeah, we're seeing the goal again. There's nothing he can do in that situation, Demiral. It was either going to go into the path of Immobile had he have not got a touch. But it's an own goal that takes us into the lead. And unfortunate there for Merih Demiral. But long ball over the top here. Comes towards Cengiz Under. He's done really well to take the ball down. What can the winger do here? Tries to flick a ball into the box. It's good defending by Spinazzola. He's been brilliant in this match so far. Both defensively and attacking-wise, it's been brilliant. As seeing what you guys have been saying in the chat. I don't know if Reese, if you're still in the building, mate. But are you working or are you off? Because I'm about to say, who have you got in your fantasy team from this game? But there might be a chance here. Because Insigne's in the box. Tries to take on the curling effort. Big deflection on there by Demiral. And they've got him on the ropes here, Italy, haven't they? Turkey defending for their lives. And you can see, again, it is a really good run. Immobile plays it to Insigne. Again, you know he's going to cut in onto his stronger foot. Tries to kill it into the top right-hand corner. And in the end, look, I think it's a matter of time here. Do Italy get that second goal? Or can Turkey push forward and try and get an equaliser? Because it will probably come fairly soon with Italy and how they're playing. But corner here for Italy. They're going to try and take it short. I mean, Berardi is again offside. And this time they're not going to take it short. Learning from the mistake. Insigne whips the ball into the box. Tries to get it towards Chiellini. Doesn't get to him in the end. And then, Chris says, that's what you do. Put it in dangerous area and that happens. And that's very true indeed. That's exactly what they needed to do. I think too much in the first half. They were just hitting the ball from long range. As there's another long range effort taken on. And it's another effort that this time Sakir does have to push away from goal, and this time it's Locatelli with the long-range effort. And all the players just backing off, allowing Locatelli all the space. He goes for the effort, and it's not really a powerful effort in the end, but it's driven towards the bottom right-hand corner, and Sakir, another good save from the keeper, pushes it away from his goal. And again, you just feel like it's a case of how long is it going to be here before Italy getting a second goal. It looks like they're going to take the corner short here. No, they're not. They're going to take it long this time, but Berardi even, is going to be the free kick corner taker. So Berardi lost the corner into the box. Play pushed down in the box. No calls for a penalty. And Italy will push forward again, like they have done pretty much for the majority of the hour. They've just been relentless in the attack so far. And Sakir has had some work to do, and again, he's been a keeper that's been linked with big moves in real life. Trabzonspor keeper, been really good for them this season as they finished in the top 4. Linked with Liverpool at one point as well, I think last year. Very good keeper in real life. I think he got the most clean sheets in the Turkish Super League as well, but chance here maybe for Berardi inside the box, who goes for the volley, and in the end, that was a really poor effort from the Sassuolo winger, and got his angle all wrong there as his eyes lit up for a chance to make it 2-0. But in the end there, half an hour of this game left, and Turkey really need to change something in this match because it has been all Italy. And the away side who are at home are making it look like they are at home, which they are. They are dominating this game, as you would expect, regardless of the fact that they are technically the away team. This is realistically a home match, isn't it, if we're being honest? And you can see that Turkey is struggling to do anything with the ball. Anytime they're getting it, there's no options. It's really, really tough for them to push forward. Nobody's really moving, very static. And for Italy, it's becoming a bit of a walk in the park here to just be able to find the space that opens up and have those long-range efforts and take them on. As Berardi has done, and has got himself a free kick here, in a very decent position for Italy, as we're about to hit the an hour mark, sorry. And I think we're probably going to see a few changes soon. A few players warming up on the touchline. One of them is Andrea Bellotti, Torino man. Wonder if we will see a few changes from Mancini anytime soon. Remember, a lot of these players, of course, have been playing extensively in Italy this season. Jorginho was at the Champions League final. But free kick here for Italy. If they can make it 2-0 at half an hour mark, this would be perfect for them. Ball lofted in here by Berardi. Actually, Insigne is going to loft it in. Comes towards Chiellini. Brilliant defending from Burak Yilmaz, who comes back to defend. And now, there might be a chance here for Turkey to hit on the break. Ball hoofed up long. Trying to get towards Burak Yilmaz. It's very calm defending at the back from Nicola Barella, of all people. And here he comes now. Here's Barella. Into Insigne. Now to Locatelli. Barella. Not really got anybody near him. And in the end, Kailas Unchu has to play it back to his keeper, Sakir, who just hoofs the ball long. And has not really got anyone there to play the ball into. And that's been the problem so far. Just nobody there to play the ball to. And I wonder if maybe here we'll see a change very shortly by the Turkish manager, Şenol Güneş. Second time in charge of Turkey. Took charge of them, I think. I can't remember when the last time he was in charge of them, but this is his second opportunity as the manager. And arguably, doing a very stellar job with them. But they will not want to come out of this game being the first team to lose at the Euros. That's for sure. Nobody wants to be the first team to take an L. But they might be taking a even bigger L here because Di Lorenzo lobs the ball into the box, tries to get it into the path of Belotti. Doesn't get there in the end. Here is Berardi is what I want to say, not Belotti. Berardi even. Insigne plays the ball into Immobile, who is flagged as offside. And it will be a free kick. Goal kick even. Or free kick for Turkey. As it does ask how many subs are allowed, Josh. I think it's 5. I'm pretty sure it's 5. Of course, they could have a 26-man squad for the actual team itself. So I think it's 5 substitutions they can have. It might even be 7. But I think it's 5. I guess we'll see as this game goes on, but I'm pretty sure it'll be 5 subs that they can have. And not 7, because 7 to me sounds like quite a lot. But we'll see as time goes on. As Turkey now, for the first time, just trying to get themselves a bit of a possession here. When Yokuzlu's gone down, going to get a free kick for Turkey. Of course, Yokuzlu actually became a bit of a fan's favourite at West Brom in his time alone at the club. When we're going back, sadly, after their relegation in the Premier League, but I think will be a little bit of a fan favourite after his fairly impressive loan spell. On loan from Celta Vigo, who themselves had been struggling in La Liga in the past. Finished mid-table this season. Really good season for them. With the likes of Iago Aspas and Santi Mina. But here comes Turkey. It's going to be Zeki Çelik. Into Under. Tries to play the ball into the path of his fellow teammate, Ozan Tufan. Doesn't get to him in the end. And another chance maybe for Italy to come forward here. Here's Demiral. Trying to kind of stop Insigne, who's been an absolute nightmare for him in this game. But in the end, it is going to be, I think, a breaking play here. Is there going to be a substitution? It's looking like it's going to be a substitution, I think. And it will be a substitution, yes, for Turkey. So, change here, and it's going to be Ozan Tufan who comes off the pitch. Fenerbahce midfielder comes off, and we're going to see Kaan Ayhan come on, the centre-back. Former Dusseldorf man, now at Sassuolo, funnily enough. And then, of course, we'll have another change as well. Another player coming off. And it's going to be, I think, Kaveci. Irfan Kaveci comes on. And Okay Yokuzlu comes off the pitch. So a few changes in the game for Turkey. As you would expect, a few players being a little bit tired. Let's not forget, a lot of these players have been playing league football as well over the last few weeks, so tiredness is going to creep in. But more than anything, I think just in this specific game, the Turkish players have probably had to work as hard as they ever have, because Italy have just been pushing them forward relentlessly. And honestly, it's been chaotic for them, hasn't it? Not really had any chances to push forward at all in this match. And you just feel like, as this game goes on, there might be a genuine chance here that Turkey do come out of this game with absolutely 0 shots in the match. Well, I've had, 1 shot, none on target, which is pretty depressing, isn't it, really? Dazas, what would I get for what would I get back for 4 to 9's £1 stake? Not much. Probably not. I would have said, Daz, not enough to be worth putting £1 bets on. I think I would never put bets on teams winning for £1 because it's just not worth it. Because you'll not win enough. It's a pointless bet. But there might be a chance here for Spinazzola. Inside the box, Spinazzola with the chance. Shaved, but it's in the back of the net. And Italy take a 2-0 lead. And it's a goal from that man, Ciro Immobile. The hero of Italy's past. He's now the hero of Italy's present. And could that be the all-important goal that kills this game off for Turkey? 2 to the good now for the away side. And the Golden Boot winner of the past, one of the most prolific strikers at the world, in the world, gets a goal in this game, and he has worked his socks off in this hour, in the first hour, and he finally gets his just deserves. And it was a good save in the end by Sakir, but the ball, if there's one player on the pitch you wouldn't want the ball to land towards, it's that man, Ciro Immobile. He takes a touch. Well, he doesn't even take a touch, if I'm being honest with you. He just bends the ball in the back of the net. And by the time Sakir has of course, got himself up and tried to make the save. Ciro Immobile has put the ball in the back of the net. And just like that, the man who scored so many goals over the last few years for Lazio bags a crucial goal indeed. And he makes it 2-0 on the night. And surely now, Italy will be on course here for the first 3 points of the Euros, as Turkey just look more tired and tired as the game continues on, as Benaldo is gutted about that goal, and Reece needed Immobile to score first. Unlucky lad. Are you at work, by the way, or have you got some time off? Because if you've got some time off, then could have picked a better time to have some time off now, could you? But yeah, he's worked his socks off, Immobile. Been really good in this game. And finally gets his just deserves. And he was actually a player I was going to put money on to maybe be up there for the Golden Boot. But that's a goal to his name. And I wonder if maybe the likes of Switzerland and Wales would be both watching on in this game and thinking, well, we might have got a potential opportunity with how Turkey have played to finish in the top two. But they also might be looking at Italy and thinking to themselves, well, they are quite a menace to watch. But here's Karaman. Ball played into the box. And Turkey get themselves a corner here. And maybe an opportunity from a set piece to get themselves a goal in this game. If they can make it 2-1 with 20 minutes left, might just give some of these players a little bit of confidence to try and go out there and get back on the on level terms. But it's going to be Çalhanoğlu who whips the ball into the box. It's a really poor corner in the end. And well, it's going to be a free kick anyway for Italy. And Donnarumma might have one of the easiest games of the tournament you will ever see. As of course, yes, you've got your vaccine. I forgot about that. Don't work weekends. I keep forgetting it's the weekend, isn't it? I forgot. Honestly, time's gone out the window now. It's just football, football, football. It's the fucking Euros. We love it. Time doesn't exist. I think as every football fan in the world knows, when it gets to the Euros or the World Cup, everything has to be centred around what games are going on. If somebody asks you to go out for a meal, is there a game on at 2 o'clock? Yes, can't go out for that meal. Is there a party going on somewhere at night time? What's that? 8 o'clock, England are playing? No chance. If there is a barbecue, family barbecue, North Macedonia are playing at 5 o'clock. No barbecue. Fuck that. We're watching Macedonia. That is what the Euros are like. And I think that's what it's going to be like for the next few months. And we've got Copa America as well. So just to make things even better, when the Euros are done at night time, we've got Copa America straight afterwards. So football literally about 12 hours a day. As Turkey look to come forward here. Ball lofted in by Menesh. Comes to the edge of the box to Cengiz Ünder. Eventually lands at the feet of Ünder. Now to Şelik. Here's Burak Yilmaz in the box. Şelik tries to flick a ball towards Çalhanoğlu. But Italy in the end, comfortable at the back. Well defended. And with 20 minutes, it's looking like here that maybe Italy could make a few changes and rest a few players up for the next game in a few days' time. Because right now, they're very comfortable in this match. Although saying that, you would expect the likes of Turkey to try and push forward here. As Sean Evans says, have the meal and watch football at the same time. No. Well, yeah, but if you want to go out for a meal, you can't do that. Because the footy's on, unless they've got the game on. If you go to a pub or something, they've got a match on, then great. But that's the only time you ever want to go out. If they've got a TV somewhere and it's showing the matches, then okay, you can have some exceptions here and there. But I think most people will be just looking and thinking, it's football literally 24/7 for the next month. And we bloody love it. Reece saying North Macedonia winning the Euros. Well, I think that North Macedonia game, the first one, I think it's myself and KL covering it. So there will be limbs if North Macedonia do win. And then Chris saying Turkey dark horses. People saying Italy should be winning this game comfortably. I wonder what the hype was about Turkey. Let's not forget, Chris, this is only game number 1. They are facing Italy, which is arguably the toughest team of the group. You know, I wouldn't sit there and say there's not much hype about them when it's only game 1. You know, we've got 2 more games still to come. Yeah, they're not playing great, and I would arguably say it's very disappointing from them with the way that they played. But against teams like Wales and Switzerland is when you'll probably see them at the best. So, I wouldn't sit there and say that this first game specifically is going to be the real kind of taster of all the sides. I think, you want to see the first 3 matches of the group stage, and those teams that do go through to the next round. That's when you kind of get a rough idea of the favourites and who you'd expect to go on and win it and who's in good form. As Turkey try and hoof the ball up, Berardi trying to play it off to Insigne, who was in the striker position for a moment, but the 5'2" winger again is not going to be getting onto balls with headers today, is he? Or ever, if we're being honest. Here's Di Lorenzo into Immobile. Lovely flick from Barella, but his flick eventually plays the ball back to Turkey again. Berardi's gone down, and a free kick for Italy in a very decent position as Turkey again continue to struggle. And I will definitely have to say that Umut Meraş has had to struggle massively in this match, coming up against the likes of Berardi. He has not had an easy game at all against him. And I've got to say, Berardi, I wouldn't say he's been running rings around him, but it's just made his life very tricky. As we're going to have a change here, and Brian Cristante will be coming on. And my one to watch, Manuel Locatelli, comes off the pitch. Another good game for him today. Fair play, played really well in that game. The 23-year-old comes off the pitch on what's been a very good first match. And on comes Brian Cristante, another player for Roma. There's so many players on the pitch that play for Roma, it's unbelievable. And that'll be his 12th international cap. As Reece says he needs a clean sheet for Bonucci. I need a clean sheet for Donnarumma, because I've got Donnarumma on in this game. And I realise I captained Soyuncu for this match. And forgot I got Donnarumma. I'm a pleb. Turkey, though, trying to get on a counter-attack here. That free kick didn't come to anything for Italy. But they're taking a little bit too long on the counter-attack. Oh, they're saying that. They've got a chance to come forward now. Here's Cengiz Under. It's a 4-on-3. Under, driving forward. Lovely work from the Turk. Tries to play the ball into the path of Burak Yilmaz, but it's cleared away in the end by Chiellini. But Turkey will get the ball back again. As I think Immobile's gone down, but he's going to be alright to continue. Can Turkey make things interesting with 15 minutes to go? Ball played into the path of Kenan Karaman, and that is the first real chance. Little chance in the second half for Turkey. And it was a really good flicking towards Kenan Karaman. I think that would have been a very tight decision on whether that would have been an offside or not. But he just gets a very minuscule touch on the ball, Kenan Karaman, and it doesn't come to anything in the end. And sadly, a chance for Turkey that goes wide of the mark. And they really need to get something soon here. If they want any hope of getting back into this match, maybe making it 2-2, getting a point in this fixture, then they've got to hope that somebody gets a goal soon, because we are going to see another change in a second. And I think the player I've just seen standing on the touchline waiting to come on is Dervisoglu, a Turkish winger. I think former Feyenoord, might still be a Feyenoord player. By the way, he's coming on in a moment. And another winger to try and test Italy. But here's Cristante. Lovely ball. Chance here for Spinazzola, who tries to take on his man. But in the end, Cengiz Under with some good defending comes back to help his team out. And I tell you something, Spinazzola in this game has been absolutely fantastic in this match. Really giving his all. I've got to say, for me, I think, of course, you probably put up there maybe someone like an Immobile for man of the match, but I would probably say Spinazzola for me has been the man of the match in this game. He has worked his socks off, both defensively and attacking-wise, as Kenan Karaman comes off the pitch and Halil Dervisoglu comes on. Dutch born and raised, played at Feyenoord, was on loan at Galatasaray this season. Still is at Feyenoord, actually, from what they've just said. Thought he was. As the Italian corner is whipped in. And is Burak Yilmaz eventually heads the ball away. And they've actually just said Dervisoglu, this is his actual competitive debut for Turkey. Had 3 appearances before for Turkey. Never played in a competitive match. This is his first taste on the international stage of a big tournament. Very tricky winger, got a lot of good pace about him. Of course, played for Galatasaray, who just missed out on the title to Besiktas on the last day of the season. Very, very disappointing for them. Literally missed out on goal difference as well by 2 goals or 1, I think it was. So very unfortunate for them in that respect. But Chris saying, if England win the group, then players and staff may as well get their train ticket back home on Hogwarts Express train. Let's not be depressing, Chris. Let's enjoy the moment while we've got it. Honestly, I kind of agree with you to a certain extent, Chris. What I was saying before, like, if England do win the group, I don't think we're going through. And that's me being an honest England fan. I know we can sit there and joke about, it's coming home, but yeah, I personally, I can agree with that to a certain extent. I don't think we will go through if we win the group. I think if you come up against like France, Portugal or Germany, they're probably going to beat us, if I'm being truthful. But it'd be a good game. I mean, as a neutral, like when you watch these matches, like an England-Germany match or an England-France match, is a game that you want. But there's going to be a chance here. Cristante plays the ball into the path for Berardi. Chance here for Barella at the edge of the box. Got nobody there. He's going to play it outside the box. And in the end, I think Flag's gone up for offside on Berardi. Oh no, I've got a really itchy nose. Apologies. Chris saying we need to avoid France, Germany or Portugal. I agree. I think even if we come second, I think, regardless of whoever we get, I think it'd be like Poland. I think Poland or Sweden, unless Spain finish second, then we'd be fucked. But I think if we were to then beat the round of 16, I think we then get one of the teams that are tough anyway in the quarters. So I think the quarters is potentially the best run, but there's a chance for Insigne! Oh, it's brilliant from the little magician that bags the third in this game. And this is Italy's night at the Stadio Olimpico, where dreams are made of. It's Italy who will be taking the first 3 points of the tournament. And well, how many times tonight has Insigne tried to curl the ball in the back of the net? And he's probably had 4 or 5 opportunities. But in the end, they finally put the ball in the back of the net. Or Insigne has at least. It's 3-0 to Italy. And with 10 minutes left, it is a party at the Stadio Olimpico. 3-0. Turkey are going to be going home with nothing. And this is so poor. And it was from Sakir. And it's the goalkeeper who gives it away. And it's a price to pay. And a big price indeed. Because Insigne has bagged the third goal. And that's 3 points to Italy. And what a way to set the tone on the first night of a very entertaining match, you have to admit. And now the 16,000 fans in the stadium, most of them being Italian fans, will be going home tonight absolutely buzzing at the fact that they have got 3 points, as we're going to see some changes now for Italy, as you would expect. And Lorenzo Insigne is one of the first players off. His last contribution of the game was a fantastic goal. And on for him is Federico Chiesa. And then, of course, one more change in the match. We'll see another change in the game. And the other change in the match will be, I think, Ciro Immobile will come off. It will be indeed. Ciro Immobile comes off for Andrea Belotti, who has had quite a tough season. Belotti. Really, really tough season at Torino, who were fighting for survival for pretty much 90% of the season, but still plays for Italy. Linked with a move, funnily enough, to Roma and AC Milan. And what better opportunity it could be for him to maybe mark his name in the tournament and get himself a move away from Torino next season in Italy. But what a perfect performance from Italy tonight. And this would be, I believe, one of the biggest opening day victories of the Euros. I think, in fact, it might be the biggest victory of an opening match at the Euros in terms of the actual extent of the defeat. I can't remember the last time a team scored 3 goals in the first game. And I think Turkey tonight have disappointed massively. Really, really good team on paper. I think they've got some very class players, but ultimately tonight it just hasn't been a great performance at all from them. And, well, got to say here that Italy are running the show. And I think there'll be a few other teams around Europe right now watching this game and maybe thinking here we've got quite a tricky Italian side on our hands, because one thing they can do is score goals. I mean, let's not forget this will now be the 28th game where Italy will have been unbeaten, which is a staggering record. And Roberto Mancini has completely revolutionised this side. You know, they've gone from being a team which a few years ago didn't even make it to the World Cup, lost to Sweden in that incredible, shocking World Cup qualifying match. And they didn't win, and they got booted out and lost and didn't make the World Cup. And ever since then, Mancini has completely revolutionised the side, made them into a different team. And honestly, I think they're going to be ones to watch in this tournament. As Sean Evans says, did Turkey turn up? Not yet. Not yet. We'll have to see what happens in the next two games for them. But if there's one way you don't want to start a tournament, is by getting battered in your first match. Which I don't think many people would have expected, to be fair, in terms of them being battered. But right now, they're finding themselves under some really troubled waters as we go into the final 7 minutes of this match. Don't forget, if you are new to the stream, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription. If you are new, plenty of content to come over the next few weeks as Euro 2020 continues. We've got the A-League tomorrow, elimination finals, as we get into the back end of the season in the A-League, as the knockout stages begin of that. So you could join Rowan tomorrow from 10 AM for that. And then, of course, tomorrow, we've got all free fixtures. That's right, all free, just to keep your eyes on. Starting off tomorrow with Wales versus Switzerland. You can join myself and mainly Kieran L for that one. Going to be live from around about 1:55, I think, for that game. Kick-off at 2 o'clock. We've got Denmark-Finland as well. Should be a good game. That'll be straight after. And then the last game of the night, Belgium-Russia, with myself, of course. I do the nighttime shift. I do the graveyard shift of the Euros, as we have a cracker of the game with Belgium against Russia. But this hasn't been a graveyard shift whatsoever. It's been a very entertaining match, if you're an Italian fan. They have had 24 attempts in this game, 8 on target, and Turkey have only had 1 attempt, none on target. So, Turkey here, the battering boys of the opening stages, as Berardi going down here. Hopefully nothing too serious for the Sassuolo man, who goes down. I think he's making a little bit of a meal of it just to make a point. Umut Merash with the foul in the end, but we've seen the Lorenzo Insigne goal back again. It's an absolute perler of a finish. You know, we said it earlier on. We know that Lorenzo is always going to cut in on his right foot and curl the ball into the back of the net, or attempt to curl the ball into the back of the net. And he was able to do it in the end, as we've had another change. And I think it's Berardi who comes off the pitch almost instantly. Good performance today from Domenico Berardi. And it is Federico Bernardeschi who comes on. One of the favourites, I think you have to say, for Mancini. Played a lot of games for Roberto Mancini over the last few months. But I'll tell you something. He's quite a very good player on his day. And he's on the free kick now for Italy. Ball lofted into the box. It's not the best cross in the world, but it's put behind by Yilmaz. And it goes out of play for Italian corner. Was Turkey here, just looking to make sure that there's no more damage in this game. And they can get themselves out of this Stadio Olimpico with a 3-0 defeat, rather than it becoming even more embarrassing than it has been. So corner going to be whipped in here. Can they make something from it? They've got a few decent players in the box, Belotti being one of them. Can he get his head on it? As the ball's lofted in, comes towards the path of, I think that was actually Di Lorenzo who was trying to get on the end of the ball, but referees pulled it back for a foul on Turkey. And for the last few minutes here, I think Turkey will just be hoping that they can maybe get a consolation goal in this game, get themselves off to at least a goal, I guess. It wouldn't be really a strong start, would it? Just more the fact they'd have something on the board, bit of a confidence booster. Because I don't think really there's anything to scream or shout about in this game whatsoever. As I think got another player injured here, and it's going to be Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who's just having a little moment here where he'd gone down. He's all right to continue as the play continues on, just limping a little bit, but play will continue. And I think if you're a Turkey fan tonight, probably at the beginning of the day, you were all excited and in anticipation of what was going to be a very entertaining match. But again, a record where these sides have faced off 11 times. This is now the 12th time that they faced off against each other. And this will be the 12th time that Italy have not lost to Turkey. They have never, ever lost to Turkey in their history in football. As Bernardeschi drives forward, tries to play a ball into Spinazzola, doesn't get to him in the end, and Italy will come forward again, maybe trying to get a fourth goal in this game. As Louis in the building, how you doing, mate? Bye, Emmy, we will miss you. It's a shame he's gone, because I really do think, had you kept him, he'd have been a brilliant player to have. As we're going to get the first yellow card of the tournament, and it's Cagliostro who goes into the book. And I thought we'd actually had a yellow card by now, but no, first booking of the tournament. And Cagliostro goes into the book with 2.5 minutes left. And yeah, just leans into the path of, I think it was Bernardeschi who goes down. And it's very simple yellow card to give there from the referee. And a free kick in a good position to maybe get a fourth goal. And just make sure they keep the discipline here, Turkey, because you don't want to be getting bookings at the early stage of this tournament. Especially as we progress on, because it will come key with suspensions towards the back end of the tournament. So Bernardeschi going to whip this ball in here. Maybe an opportunity to get the ball in the back of the net. Ball's crossed in, and well, it's a really poor cross at the end by Bernardeschi, but I guess you can let him off when it's 3-0 with a few minutes left. You can let him off there. And, well, what a stellar performance here from Italy. Really, really good game today. I think there'll be a lot of people now looking at Italy and thinking, I know it's only game one, but if you are Wales or Switzerland, I think you're going to have some work to do trying to stop this Italian side, because they have been not ruthless, but very good in front of goal. And you cannot afford to make mistakes. As the ball is lofted long by Turkey, but it's into the hands of Donnarumma. And in the end there, with a minute left, I don't think we'll see much additional time. And we are coming towards the end of the opening match of the Euros. It's been a very enjoyable match to watch, as we're going to get another yellow card coming out here. And I think a few Turkey players here just losing the discipline slightly. And this time it's going to be Devizoglu who goes into the book. And the Turkish winger, Dutch-born, will get the second yellow card of this tournament. Only been on the pitch for about 10 minutes. He gets a yellow card to his name with about 40 seconds left of normal time, and it's a pretty easy decision for the referee there. It's a bit of a poor challenge on Nicola Barella, really feisty one in the end, just clips the top of his boot, and referee there, no choice really but to bring that yellow card out. As Louis says, Turkey Dartosas, Finland have more of a chance. Well, you'll have to watch them tomorrow. Denmark against Finland should be a good game, that one. We'll talk about that more in a few moments' time. But 10 seconds left of this game. Don't think we're going to get much additional time, for being honest with you. But maybe a chance for one more goal in this game as Bernardeschi drives forward on the right-hand side. Here's Di Lorenzo. Now into the path of Barella. Now into Jorginho, who I don't think has put a foot wrong tonight. Haven't really spoke about him much because he's just been that good. Donnarumma as we go into 3 minutes of additional time at the end of this game. Here's Spinazzola trying to get forward. A bit of good defending by Zeki Çelik, who stops the ball. And Turkey will look to push forward here. Maybe get a consolation goal before the end of this game. Probably not going to get it. I mean, they've not even had a shot on target in this match. As Xhaka just hoofs the ball straight out of play. And, well, if you're a Turkish fan at the Stadio Olimpico, you're probably leaving the stadium quite early tonight. I don't think you'll be staying around much longer. But every player tonight has worked their socks off for Italy. They have been so in cruise control for the whole 90 minutes. I don't think there was really any ever point in this game where we were looking at Turkey and thinking, well, they've got a real good chance here. They've always looked in control of this match, Italy. And as I said, if there's one way you want to start the tournament, it's by getting yourself a really good, comfortable victory in the opening match of the game. As Lou says, if there's no team with the goat Pookie on the thumbnail, I ain't watching. Of course he's on the thumbnail, Louis. Of course he is. If there was only one player that was going to be on the finished thumbnails, it's Teemu Pukki. So he's on the thumbnails for every single one of them. Don't you worry, my friend. He's on them, and he always will be. Because he's the only player I can find with an actual PNG in a Finnish shirt. Maybe I could get one of Hradecki, but I'd rather get Teemu Pukki because he's the more recognisable of the two, in my opinion. But might be a chance here for Turkey to come forward. Çalhanoğlu goes down. Played into Burak Yilmaz, though. A chance here for Yilmaz, who goes down. And that's a brilliant tackle from Chiellini. And that is as good as a goal for a player who has been so expertly well at defending over the last few years and just stopped what could have been a potential chance for Burak Yilmaz to get a consolation goal in this game. And Turkey will get a corner here, which is lobbed in by Cengiz Ünder. Comes deep towards the path of, I think it was Melek Demiral. But just seeing that tackle again, that was a fantastic tackle from Chiellini. Just stopped what would have been at least a chance on target for Burak Yilmaz. And I think that kind of sums up what a poor game it's been for Turkey. And they're going to come out of this match here with no shot on target whatsoever. With 15 seconds left. As Italy drive forward for one more flourish in this game. It's going to be Cristante who pushes forward. Played into the path of Belotti. Tries to cut in and take on his man. But in the end, the referee blows the whistle on what has been a very enjoyable first game of Euro 2020. And if you are an Italian fan, you couldn't have started the tournament in any better way. A fantastic 3-0 win against Turkey, which started off with an own goal from Melek Demiral, which Berardi whipped in a ball, and it was eventually put into the back of the net by Demiral. The second goal of the game came from their top scorer, Ciro Immobile, with a very simple finish in the box, and then a brilliant way to end the scoring with Lorenzo Insigne getting the final goal of the game with a fantastic curl ball in the back of the net. If you're Turkey, a 3-0 defeat is not the way you want to start the tournament, and well, they're quite I'd say they're an exciting side to watch at the end of the day, but I just personally think today wasn't their day at all. Italy bossed them for the whole match, and in the end, what a way to start the tournament. Italy 3, Turkey 0. And if you have enjoyed tonight's watch along, then don't forget, if you are new to the stream, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription if you are new to the channel. We are pushing towards 2,300 subscribers on the channel. If you want to check out our social media links, you can check out our Twitter, which is @the_top corner, and our Instagram, which is _sportscorner_. Please do go check those out to see when we do go live, as well as checking out the lineups for each of the matches. Honestly, guys, it has been a very enjoyable stream indeed, and trust me, there is a long, long way to go with the Euros. Like, we have got so much content still to come over the next few days. In fact, we're back tomorrow. It's a very, very quick turnaround. These are tomorrow's fixtures, which are going to be taking place on the channel, and you'll be glad to know we're covering all 3 of the fixtures from Euro 2020 tomorrow. Starting off with Wales taking on Switzerland. You can join myself and Kieran L. We're going to be live from around about 1:50 for that first match. Of course, both these teams will no doubt have been watching Wales and Italy and Turkey tonight. And I think I've got to say, they will be very keenly watching on with how Italy have played. So you can join us. We'll be talking about this game tomorrow a little bit more in detail, as well as the other 2 matches. You could join, as I said, Kale and myself from 10 to 1. From 5 p.m, or 4:55, sorry, you can join Rowan, who's going to be covering Denmark, who are taking on Finland. Of course, Teemu Pukki, who's going to be leading the line for Finland. Is he going to be the hero for them, or will a team that boasts the likes of Eriksson and Kasper Schmeichel be able to get 3 points on the board? That's the first game of Group B. You can join Rowan 5 minutes before kickoff for that match. And then Belgium take on Russia. That's at 8 p.m. UK time. You could join me about 10 or 15 minutes before kickoff. We'll be covering all of the action from the 2 games previous, as well as covering the nighttime game live on the channel. Should be an absolute belter of a match. Let's not forget Russia, World Cup quarter-finalists, and Belgium as well, quarter-finalists and semi-finalists of the previous Euros, so we should be in for a very good game indeed. There's more content, as I said, to come, not just Euro content. You can join Rowan tomorrow for the A-League. We've got the eliminations final live. Central Coast Mariners taking on MacArthur Bulls. He'll be live from 10 a.m. for the first watch-along of the day. And then, as we said before, we've got all that action coming tomorrow. Wales, Switzerland should be a belter. Denmark, Finland should be an interesting game, that one. I think that could be a potential surprise package of matches. And then the standout game of the day, in my opinion, Belgium taking on Russia. And then, of course, I don't think it's just going to be me for this one. I think there'll be a few of us from the Sports Corner. It's the big one. England in their first Euro game against Croatia from Group D. That's at 5-2 on Sunday. You do not want to miss out on that one, of course. We will be covering that live on the channel, and it should be an absolute belter. But look, brilliant game tonight for Italy. I think they played a stellar game, and I think that might be one of the standout performances from Euro 2020. And I don't just mean that as a joke, not, of course, because we've only had one game, but I really do think that will be one of the more standout games by the end of the first match day. I think they played really well as a unit. I think Turkey never had a chance to get into this match and have really any opportunities apart from the one effort that they had at the very end of the game from Burak Yilmaz. And I think if you are the manager of Turkey, you have got a lot of work to do to get your team sorted out for the next match, because I'll tell you one thing, they've got a lot of work to do going into that next game, because they cannot afford to lose 2 games on the bounce, or for me, they're out of the tournament, and that will be them pretty much booted out before it even began, which is something you don't want to do, especially in a tournament where it goes by so quickly. You know, you've got 3 group games, and that's it. So if you lose or you draw the first 2, or win 1 and then draw 1, I think win 1, draw 1, you're all right. But if you draw the first 2 or lose the first 2, then 9 times out of 10, you probably going to be out of the tournament unless you win your last game. So it's a tough one overall, and I think Turkey have got to put some pressure on in their next game, which, if you're wondering what these 2 guys have got next in terms of their matches, Turkey's next game is on Wednesday, which is against Wales. That's at 5 o'clock. And then as for Italy, their next game is, of course, against Switzerland. That game is on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. If you are wondering who's covering those games, then don't you worry. We have got a schedule all sorted out. Those games will be covered. I'll be covering Turkey versus Wales, so get another chance to see Turkey in action. And then Italy against Switzerland, I think, is going to be covered by KL. So we'll have to see whether or not that one is covered by KL on the night. But yeah, I think that is all that can be said about today's game. A massive thank you to everybody that has been in the stream, for all of you that have been leaving your subscriptions and likes and that. Massively appreciated indeed. Don't forget, this is just the start of the tournament. There is a long way to go. This is only game number 1. We'll be back tomorrow once again, as I said before, for 3 more games. And this is it. 3 games a day. We fucking love the Euros. It's great. Join us tomorrow from 1:55. We'll be live with Wales versus Switzerland. Then we got Denmark, Finland. And then we got Belgium versus Russia. Should be brilliant indeed on youtube.com/thesportscorneryt. But as for now, for those of you watching, have a fantastic morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. And we will see you again for all of the action tomorrow for the Euros and for the A-League. Don't forget about that. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Good night.